Everyone wants to speak English fluently, but most people are not stopped by grammar or vocabulary. They are stopped by fear, the quiet voice that says, "What if I make a mistake? What if people laugh at me?" That fear grows each time we stay silent. But the moment you face it, everything changes. In this story, you'll learn how to speak with courage, train your confidence, and finally enjoy English without fear holding you back. Imagine this: you are sitting in class, or maybe in a cafe, and someone turns to you with a friendly smile and asks, "How are you?" You know this question. You have studied it hundreds of times. Yet suddenly, your brain goes blank. Your heart beats faster, your hands sweat, and words hide somewhere deep inside your throat. This moment isn't about grammar. It's about fear. The real enemy of confident speaking is not your vocabulary or accent. It's the invisible pressure inside your mind, the fear of being judged, misunderstood, or laughed at. You may think, "My English is not good enough." But what your fear really says is, "I am not good enough." And that's not true. Psychologists explain that fear grows in silence. When you avoid speaking, the brain learns that English equals danger. The more you stay quiet, the stronger that message becomes. But here's the secret: fear cannot survive in light. When you face it, name it, and talk about it, it starts to fade. Try this experiment. Take a deep breath and say to yourself, "Yes, I'm afraid of making mistakes." Say it out loud. It feels strange, doesn't it? But also powerful. Because now, the fear is not hiding. You can see it, and what you can see you can manage. Now, let's reprogram your mind. For years, English learners are told to chase perfection. Perfect grammar, perfect pronunciation, perfect sentences. But perfection is a moving target. No one, not even native speakers, speaks perfectly all the time. Instead of chasing perfection, choose courage. Every time you speak despite fear, you train your brain to believe that it's safe. Repeat this affirmation every day. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to be brave. Bravery is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to speak even when fear is present. Practical exercise. Take a notebook and write down your top 3 English fears. Maybe it's fear of speaking in front of others, fear of being corrected, or fear of forgetting words. Then, next to each fear, write a new belief. For example, I'm afraid of being judged. People are not judging, they are listening. I'm afraid of mistakes. Every mistake is progress. When you name your fear, you take away its power. When you replace it with courage, you begin your journey to speaking English with confidence. Every fluent speaker you've ever met once sounded unsure, slow, or awkward. The difference is not talent, it's training. Speaking English confidently is not about knowing more, it's about feeling safer while using what you already know. These 5 fearless practice methods will help you speak naturally, train your mouth like an athlete, and transform fear into freedom. 1. Talk to yourself. Your best conversation partner is not a native speaker. It's you. You are always available, you never judge, and you understand exactly where you are in your learning journey. Talking to yourself might feel strange at first, but it's one of the most powerful ways to remove fear. Throughout your day, describe what you're doing out loud. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm opening the window. I'm making coffee. When you speak these sentences, your brain begins to see English as something normal. Not a performance, not a test, just another part of life. The goal is not perfect grammar. The goal is comfort. Every time you speak aloud, you train your mouth muscles, your tongue, and your brain to work together without hesitation. Soon, English will feel like a natural language for your thoughts. You don't need books or pressure, just your voice and a few minutes of honest practice every day. 2. The safe zone method. Confidence is born in private long before it shines in public. To build it, you need a safe zone, a place where mistakes are welcome and judgment doesn't exist. Your safe zone could be anywhere: your bedroom, your balcony, or your morning walk. Talk to your pet about your day. Read a short article aloud. Record your voice describing what you did today. You can even use an AI chatbot to have simple conversations without fear. Another great method: teach English to someone who knows less than you, even a child, or a friend just beginning. Teaching forces you to use English actively, and in a relaxed environment. These moments in your safe zone are where confidence quietly grows. You create familiarity with your own voice in English. Over time, this familiarity becomes calmness, and calmness becomes courage. Remember, before you speak bravely in public, you must speak freely in private. 3. Shadow loop technique. The shadow loop is one of the most effective tools to sound fluent and natural. It's a simple but powerful practice where you listen to a native speaker and immediately shadow their words. Repeat them as they speak, like an echo. Start with one short sentence from a podcast, movie, or YouTube video. For example, "It's a beautiful day today." Play it once, listen carefully. Then play it again and repeat it with the speaker, matching their rhythm, tone, and emotion. Do this 5 times. Yes, 5. The first time, you'll just copy the sounds. The second time, you'll start to feel the rhythm. By the 5th time, your mouth will own the sentence. This is not just listening, it's training your pronunciation, pacing, and emotion all at once. Each repetition is like a gym workout for your speaking muscles. The more you loop, the more your speech becomes automatic and effortless. With time, you'll notice your hesitation disappearing, not because you studied harder, but because your mouth and mind now move in harmony. 4. Internalize, don't memorize. Most learners memorize English like a list of numbers. They can repeat it but not live it. Real fluency happens when English moves from your notebook into your real life. To internalize means to connect language with action and emotion. Don't just remember words, experience them. For example, instead of memorizing the phrase, "I'm cooking dinner," say it while you cook. When you walk outside, say, "The sky looks beautiful." When you feel tired, say, "I need to rest." By linking English to real actions and emotions, you build emotional memory. You won't forget words you've lived. This method is powerful because it combines movement, emotion, and language, the same way children learn their first language. You're no longer studying English, you're living it. That's when fear disappears, because the language is no longer foreign, it's part of your identity. 5. Mouth training, speak like a skill. Speaking English is not just a mental activity. It's a physical one, like dancing, singing, or playing an instrument. Your mouth, lips, tongue, and breath must all learn to move in new ways. That's why we call this step mouth training. Set aside 5 minutes daily. Choose 5 short, emotional sentences, such as, "I can do this." "I'm getting better every day." "I'm proud of myself." "I will not give up." "I speak English with confidence." Repeat each sentence 5 times, slow, fast, loud, soft, and with feeling. Focus on movement and rhythm, not grammar. This variation trains your voice to be flexible and expressive, while building automatic fluency. At first, it might feel silly, but it's like vocal gym for your English muscles. You're not only building sound accuracy, you're rewiring your brain to feel strong and comfortable when speaking. Do it daily, even for a few minutes. Over time, your mouth will remember what your mind forgets. Fluency will flow, not because of perfect knowledge, but because of practiced confidence. Confidence is not an accident, it's a state of mind you can train. Just like a muscle, it grows stronger every time you use it. Yet, many English learners believe confidence comes after fluency, as if they must earn the right to feel brave. The truth is the opposite. Confidence comes before fluency. You must believe you can speak, even when you make mistakes, even when your voice shakes. Once you understand how the psychology of confidence works, fear starts to lose its grip. A. Feel safe with mistakes. Mistakes are not proof that you're bad at English, they are proof that you're trying. Every fluent speaker once stood where you stand, unsure, nervous, and afraid of being judged. What separates them from those who stay silent is one simple decision: to speak anyway. Let's rewrite the rule. I'd rather speak with 5 mistakes than stay silent with perfect grammar. Because when you speak, you learn through action. Silence teaches you nothing. Each mistake is a small data point your brain uses to grow stronger. The more errors you make, the more patterns you recognize, and the more your brain adapts. Psychologists call this exposure therapy, facing the thing you fear until it no longer scares you. So instead of avoiding mistakes, walk toward them. Laugh at them. Celebrate them. Every time you make one, you're one step closer to fluency. Remember this truth. Fluent speakers are not the ones who never failed. They are the ones who never stopped. B. Inclusive eye contact. Eye contact can feel intimidating, especially when speaking in a second language. You may worry that people are judging your pronunciation or grammar. But here's the secret. Eye contact is not confrontation, it's connection. When you look someone in the eye while speaking, you're silently saying, "I'm here. I respect you. I'm confident in sharing my thoughts." It builds trust faster than perfect words ever could. Try this. Stand in front of a mirror. Speak a short English sentence while looking into your own eyes. Notice your posture, your tone, your breathing. At first, it feels strange, but that's your confidence muscle stretching. When talking to others, use the 3-second rule. Make gentle eye contact for 2 to 3 seconds, then naturally glance away before returning. This rhythm feels human, not forced. Eye contact also helps calm your nervous system. It keeps you present, focused on the person in front of you rather than the storm of self-doubt in your mind. Confidence doesn't mean staring like a superhero. It means staying open, curious, and connected, even while your heart beats a little faster. C. Clarity over complexity. Many learners believe that speaking advanced English will make them sound smart. Ironically, the opposite is true. The most confident speakers are those who communicate clearly, not complicatedly. The purpose of language is connection, not performance. So instead of trying to impress, aim to express. Use short sentences. Choose simple words. Speak slowly enough for meaning to travel. For example, instead of saying, "I endeavor to ameliorate my pronunciation difficulties," simply say, "I'm trying to improve my pronunciation." The second sentence is warmer, faster, and easier to understand. Clarity also helps your brain relax. When you simplify your speech, your mind stops chasing fancy vocabulary and starts focusing on connection. And that's when your confidence grows, because you see real understanding happen in front of you. Fluent English is not about using big words. It's about using the right words in the right way. The calm, clear speaker always sounds more confident than the nervous, complicated one. So here's your mantra: confident English is clear English. Final reflection. Confidence in English isn't built in classrooms, it's built in moments of courage. It's when you speak up despite trembling hands, when you smile through a mistake, when you meet someone's eyes and say, "I'm still learning, but I'm proud to try." Confidence is not perfection. It's permission to show up as you are, right now. And when you start treating every mistake as a teacher, every eye contact as a connection, and every word as a bridge, you'll realize something beautiful. You were never bad at English. You were just waiting to feel safe enough to shine. May sat in the corner of the meeting room, her notebook open, pen ready, eyes down. She was the quiet one, the one who always had ideas in her mind but never found the courage to let them fly into the air. Every time her manager asked a question in English, her heart raced faster than her thoughts. Words crowded in her brain, yet her tongue froze. She wasn't silent because she didn't know the answer. She was silent because she was afraid of saying it wrong, of hearing laughter, of seeing puzzled faces. But one evening, something changed. After yet another meeting of silence, May went home and stood in front of her bathroom mirror. "I can't keep waiting until I'm perfect," she whispered. "If I keep waiting, I'll never speak." That night, she made a decision, not to chase perfect English, but to practice fearless English. The next morning, May started small. While making breakfast, she spoke out loud, "I'm boiling water. I'm making eggs." It felt strange at first, almost childish. But soon, she noticed something. Her voice didn't sound as awkward as she thought. Talking to herself became her secret daily ritual. She began narrating her day in English, from brushing her teeth to walking to work. Slowly, her fear began to loosen its grip. Then she added another habit, the shadowing technique. Each evening, she chose a short video of a native speaker. She listened, repeated immediately, trying to match rhythm, tone, and emotion. 5 minutes a day. Just 5. She didn't stop when she made mistakes. She simply looped the sentence again. Over time, her mouth started to move more easily, her pronunciation became smoother, and her confidence grew louder. Most importantly, May stopped judging her accent. One day, while recording her voice, she realized something surprising. Her accent wasn't a problem. It was her signature. The sound of her voice carried her story, her culture, her courage. She began to own it. Weeks later, during a meeting, her manager asked for ideas about a new project. May's heart beat fast, but this time, she didn't freeze. She took a breath and spoke. Slowly, clearly, with all the English she had. The room went quiet, not in judgment, but in attention. Her teammates nodded. Her manager smiled. That day, May understood something profound. Fluency isn't about perfect grammar, it's about brave communication. It's about the moment you speak, even when fear whispers, stay quiet. Now, May leads her own team. She mentors new colleagues who struggle with English. And every time she sees someone hesitate to speak, she tells them, every confident speaker once stood where you are, trembling, doubting, but still speaking. That's how courage begins. Because the journey from fear to fluency doesn't start with flawless sentences. It starts with one brave word. Confidence is not a gift, it's a habit, something you train, day after day, until fear becomes a quiet background noise instead of a controlling voice. To truly speak English without fear, you must reprogram your mind, not just once, but every single day. This is your fear reset routine, a small but powerful practice that builds courage through repetition. Start simple. Every morning, before the world rushes in, stand in front of a mirror and say your affirmation out loud. I can speak. My voice matters. Don't whisper it. Say it with energy. Feel it in your chest. The goal isn't to sound confident, it's to train your brain to believe that you are. Your words become your new mental code. Next, shadow one short English clip for just 5 minutes. Choose something that inspires you, a TED Talk, a movie scene, or even a YouTube lesson. Focus on rhythm and tone rather than perfection. When your brain and mouth move together, fear has no time to interrupt. Then, record your voice. Not to criticize, but to celebrate. Listen to how you sound today compared to last week. Notice how your hesitation shrinks, how your rhythm grows smoother. Every recording is proof that you're transforming. Finally, open your confidence journal. Write one simple sentence. Today, I spoke more clearly, or I said one full sentence without fear. You are training your brain to see success, not mistakes. Because transformation never arrives in a single dramatic leap. It lives in those tiny brave moments, the quiet affirmations, the 5-minute practices, the daily choices to keep speaking even when it feels scary. One small act of courage repeated every day becomes the voice of a fearless speaker. Fluency is not the end of fear, it's the decision to speak through fear. Every time your voice trembles, every time your mind hesitates but your mouth still moves, you are winning a quiet, invisible battle that most people never fight. Stop waiting for the day you'll feel ready. That day never comes. Confidence doesn't appear before you speak, it grows because you speak. The moment you open your mouth and let the words out, even if they're imperfect, even if they stumble, you've already succeeded. Remember this, you are not just learning English. You are learning courage. You are learning to trust your voice, to let it exist without apology. The world doesn't need your perfection, it needs your presence. So speak, softly or loudly, with fear or without, but speak anyway. Because your English is not just language. It's your power, your story, your freedom.